Many Igbo youths are reluctant to join the Nigerian army due to long-standing distrust, marginalization, and perceived military oppression in the southeast region. The Nigerian military is accused of killing Igbo youths indiscriminately and treating the southeast like an occupied territory. Some claim that insecurity in the southeast is intentionally orchestrated by the federal government of Nigeria or its proxies, like alleged contracts given to figures like Asari Dokubo. Social media reactions and direct messages show widespread rejection of the army recruitment drive, with many saying they would rather join the Biafran army. The Nigerian army reportedly failed to meet recruitment quotas in the southeast due to lack of interest, with less than half of the available slots filled. There is a belief that southern recruits are sent to the most dangerous conflict zones, like the north, while northern soldiers stay in safer zones. Many believe the government is trying to use southeastern youths as cannon fodder in a conflict they didn't create. Testimonies suggest Nigerian soldiers are under-equipped, poorly compensated, and neglected, leading to further distrust and low morale. Some Igbo youths suggest forming or joining local defense groups like the Biafran Forest Guard to protect their own communities. The federal government is accused of turning a blind eye to attacks, supporting foreign terrorists indirectly, and enabling violence in regions like Benue and Plateau by disarming local defense groups. I have been following the unfolding conversation between young people from the Igbo ethnic group in southeastern Nigeria and the Nigerian army, and I want to share what I have learned in a way that feels both professional and friendly. What strikes me most is the depth of pain and distrust that these young men and women carry, and the way that history, politics, and everyday life have combined to make many of them refuse to wear the uniform of the Nigerian army. Instead, they tell their commanders that they would rather enlist only in the Biafran army, the military wing of the movement for the recreation of the Republic of Biafra. When I first saw the video posted on YouTube, I was surprised by how candid the speakers were. They did not hide their anger or their fear. One of them said plainly that the indigenous people of Biafra, which the Nigerian government has labeled a terrorist organization, had lost hundreds of members to extrajudicial killings carried out by soldiers of the Nigerian army. He explained that in his home state of Imo State, young people have either fled their towns or been shot on sight whenever military patrols enter their villages. He and his friends feel they live in an occupied territory, and every time they see the camouflage uniforms, they expect the worst. I remember thinking about how governors at the state level might react to these accusations. According to the speaker, every governor in the southeastern region knows what is happening. They have witnessed the killings and the intimidation, yet nothing has changed. When local government authorities fail to protect their own people, it is hard for anyone to feel safe. For many Igbo youths, joining the Nigerian army is unthinkable. They believe that enlistment would put them directly in harm's way, possibly even turning them into targets of the very institution they have agreed to serve. As I listened further, I learned that some of the insecurity in the southeast is blamed on armed groups that are said to operate under the sponsorship, or at least the complicity, of the federal government. The most notorious among these groups is the one led by Asari Dokubo, a former militant from the Niger Delta region who once claimed to have a contract to carry out killings in the southeast. Whether his claims are true or not, the result is the same. Civilians in states like Enugu State, Ebonyi State, and Abia State live in fear of attacks on their farms and in their forests. Even after Asari Dokubo was arrested, the kidnappings and killings continued. That suggests to many people that the problem runs deeper than any single individual. I have read dozens of messages on social media from young men who say, "Tell them to give us ammunition first. They do not trust the Nigerian army to protect them, so why should they risk their lives? Some say they would rather join the Biafran Forest Guard, a local defense force they imagine could stand up to the unknown gunmen and protect mothers working in the fields. Others accuse the federal government of deliberately creating chaos so that they can recruit southeastern youths as cannon fodder for conflicts in other parts of the country. They point out that when recruits come from the south, they are often sent to the most dangerous fronts in the northeast or northwest, where Boko Haram and other Islamist militants are active. Meanwhile, soldiers from northern states stay closer to home, in zones with much lower casualty rates. The Nigerian army itself has admitted that it failed to meet its recruitment targets in the southeast last year. Of the 200 slots allocated to one southeastern state, fewer than 100 were filled. In contrast, recruitment in other regions easily exceeded their quotas. This disparity, the army says, reflects a lack of interest, but Igbo youths insist it is the result of deep-rooted mistrust. When you hear stories of under-equipped soldiers, delayed salaries, and official neglect, it is easy to believe that the Nigerian army does not care about its own men, let alone the people they are supposed to serve. One young man told me that during his own attempt to enlist, he was shocked by the poor state of the barracks and the lack of basic supplies. He saw recruits sleeping on the bare ground, without mattresses or blankets, and he heard of soldiers who waited months for their first paycheck. These are not isolated stories. They are repeated again and again in conversations and on social media. It is no wonder that, in the eyes of many Igbo youths, the Nigerian army is more interested in using them as disposable labor than in training them to defend the nation. I find myself reflecting on how different this situation is from other countries where national service can be a source of pride and unity. Here, in southeastern Nigeria, enlistment is seen as a potential death sentence, or, at best, a long march into an uncertain future. When the federal government finally recognizes this problem, it must go beyond mere recruitment campaigns. It must rebuild trust by ensuring that soldiers from all regions receive equal treatment, that local defense groups are not disarmed while outside militants run free, and that the grievances of communities in the southeast are addressed in good faith. There are voices among Igbo youths calling for a return to the ideals of the Biafran army of the late 1960s, a force that once fought for self-determination. They argue that only by defending their own territory can they guarantee their families' safety. I do not endorse this path, but I understand why they feel driven to consider it. When official channels fail, people look for alternatives. The idea of a Biafran Forest Guard, loosely organized and operating in the dense woodlands, has gained traction. Supporters say it would protect farmers from kidnappers and unknown gunmen while refusing to send anyone off to fight battles that have nothing to do with their homeland. In my own conversations, I have tried to stress the importance of dialogue. I have told these young people that they deserve more than empty promises. They deserve concrete reforms, an end to indiscriminate arrests, fair redeployment policies that do not send southern recruits to the front lines alone, and accountability for officers who violate human rights. They deserve to see the governors of Imo State, Enugu State and Abia State stand up for them, to demand justice from the highest levels of the Nigerian government. As I conclude this narrative, I want to acknowledge how complex the situation is. There are no easy solutions. But I also believe that if the Nigerian army and the federal government take sincere steps to heal these wounds by investigating allegations of abuse, improving living conditions for soldiers, and engaging with community leaders, then it may be possible to bridge the gap. Until then, the refrain, "We want to join only the Biafran army," will continue to echo across the villages and towns of the southeast. A painful reminder that for many young Nigerians, national unity remains a promise unfulfilled.
Why do you think the Southeastern youths are so reluctant on joining the army?
The reasons are very obvious.
Which are?
You call them ipob and terrorist organization, and you have killed them in numbers.
Who killed them?
The Nigerian military.
Killed Southeast youths in numbers?
Yeah, they are in the Southeast as an army of occupation. And every youth they see in sight, you shoot at sight.
In the Southeast?
Yes, these are
the governors aware of this?
Of course, all of them are aware. All of them are.
And what are they doing about it?
Especially that of
happens to be true.
Especially that of Imo State. In the local government of Hope, you can hardly see any young man there. They have all run away or they were killed. So when you have been doing all this type of underhand dealings with the Southeast, why do you think the youth will be very happy to join the army? They believe that you are going to finish them. What you could not do with this, all this, what they call it, insecurity, you now want to finish them with the military.
But Barrister, there is a belief, or some quarters will say that the reason why there is so much military presence in the Southeast is because of the insecurities happening there by the unknown gunmen.
It was deliberately created. You know, when you want to hang a dog, you give it a bad name. What is the reason for the insecurity in the Southeast?
You said insecurity in Southeast was deliberately created.
It was
by whom?
At least we have had Asari Dokubo and his group. They are telling us what the agreement they had with the federal government. So
what did Asari say they had?
He said he had a contract to be killing the Igbos.
He said
he even mentioned the area where they're operating and all that. That his boss are the ones, the non-government. So, I mean, by the way, what is the reason for insecurity in the Southeast? What is the problem there?
What is the reason for insecurity?
That is what we should be asking the federal government. Initially, we claim it was Simon Ekpa. And we all cried that Simon Ekpa should be brought down. And
he has been in custody, so
yes,
let me ask you, as someone who is from that region, of course you'll be getting information from that region, has the rate of insecurity by the unknown gunmen reduced since Simon Ekpa has been in custody?
It has reduced, not because of Simon Ekpa per se.
Okay.
It is because the Southeasterners have devised another means of checkmating this, because the outright killing on the streets of the Southeast are reduced. But the Fulani herdsmen are still rampaging in the bushes and farmlands. They are still there. So
in the Southeast region?
Yeah, they are still there.
Women protesting in Igbo State.
So all those things, who created them? Are they Southeasterners? If the federal government not aware of what these people are doing, why did they allow them to be carrying gun and be killing people? And when anybody wants to stop them or retaliate, the person is arrested, while the attacker is allowed to go free. So when you see all these things, are you not supposed to know that something is wrong somewhere?
Echoing the importance and motivating Igbo youth to join the Nigerian army, noting that withdrawal of Igbo youth from joining the army en masse could affect the collective interest of the zone.
Last quarter of last year, the Igbo state had a slot of about 200 persons, but they were able to fill up to 100. A lot of young men that really want to join the army, but for some of these sentiments being bandied around, some of them lack encouragement from the local government councils. We have come to get the buy-in of the grass.
Listen to me. Do you know Nigerian government are not begging Nigerians youth to come and join the Suria? I remember that at 2028, 2028 to 2029. Me myself, I carry form, say I want to join Nigerian army. I want to serve my country. I want to fight for my country. I carry for my do 0 over 100, no level, because nobody, no connection, nobody when I know, maybe say if he push me go front, because at that particular time I really need down. I was having that passion, say I won't work for Nigeria. But I never say that time so when I take their decision, say na better wrong decision I be able to take. Idiot decision I be they take. I won't go to fight for people who know they fight for us. Go to guide people who don't care about us. Now take a look at your feet now. Nigerians, they are looking for youth to recruit as a soldier. That people, they find the opportunity. They find out they want to enter this because why? Because there was no social media like this. I don't know that they get the point. There was no social media like this. When we say it can open many people's eyes. If you check enough for that 2008 now till this time, social media don't come out. Where like it don't come out. Everybody don't see what they happen. Now who will go now? Go carry the key, go give them say, go work, go buy for the country. When we say the Nigerian government no care about the citizen. They don't even care about the soldier self. Even the people when they guide the state, the country, they don't care about them. Many of them, if they see them today, they will be like what you don't know. And those are people who be saying they protect the country, they protect the leaders them. And their family go there. The family, you know, they take care of them. You know many widows full that country as we are they talk like this. When we say their husband don't buy for war. Even government said no will compensate them for anything. Now they are looking for youth to recruit. Who want to join? Who want go side say I want to go buy? When we say benefits no day, make it clear to you. Listen to me. If you live abroad here, ask. If you live in this Europe, ask anybody. If you are a force person, you work as a force. If now 40 years they work before they retire, they are all for here now divided into two. They are going to work for 20 years before they retire. Ask anybody at all here. But Nigeria, they know those are not there. They go see what till that 35 years. I been like 40 years they work for Nigeria. I don't even know how many years they work with. Yeah, they go even see retire. They know they pay them. They know they pay them nothing. They don't struggle, they suffer for anything. Sir, they are looking for the youth now. Where they want to recruit, where they want to go fight Boko Haram. Now me, okay, now as I take day now, I'm not saying I'm going to fight my battle that time. I just say, God, why now? Why? I suppose join Nigeria army, God, why? I'm not saying God help me. Even if I go to Nigeria army now, where I do so I'm gonna feed them like this. I'm gonna fit buy car, this car when I use, so I'm gonna fit buy her. Which money we for see the money I want to buy herself. Or even my enemy for don't buy for front of war. Maybe say government not send. Anyway, I'm not saying anybody not join Nigeria army. If you're interested, you go. But all we are saying, Nigeria government should please take good care for those who they say they get power. All those ones when soldiers say when they go war, you know they give the equipment, nothing. They go war, the second is finished. They go war, they say bullet not there again. You know, the same people just go the papa now they enjoy the money for office. What a life now they move for people. As me be, I can never in my life, even the dream I wake up, I will not join army. If my life not repay me 5 million, I will never join Nigeria army. Let me talk. Yes, anyway, I remember boys below when they case moment 28k of Jam and deliver a message. God bless you.
If the insecurity in Nigeria is wiped out today, I mean, the Igbos will be very happy to join the military, but what the northern leaders...
So Igbos are scared to join the military because they don't want to be at the war front.
No, you know
insecurity better than the country.
You know that the Igbo man is never afraid, you know that.
Sorry sir, you know why I had to mention this now? Because over times we've heard cases and scenarios where people from certain regions says that when they get employed to the military, they send them to the very toxic, I would say war-prone or insecurity-prone areas, which are the northeast and the northwest. Like you are from a certain area, like the south and southeast, they send those people from that region back to the northeast and northwest. People are saying that shouldn't be fair. It looks like it's the same thing with the same case with the NYSC redeployment, where people from south goes to the north are redeployed to the north and people from the north are redeployed to the south. But some quarters are saying that it is only fair, or it will be fair for you to be in your region. Do you share the same thoughts?
Of course. Since everybody is aware of what the north are doing, there will be suspicion. They are not sincere, especially northern leaders. They know that they are the cause of this insecurity, so they are looking for somebody to play the cannon fodder. People they will use as scapegoats to go and die for them for a work they created. Since it is their children and their youth that are the cause of this war, let them sort it out.
It's a war on insecurity. Okay, it's a war on terrorism.
It's war. It's war. In fact, more than a war. So since they know the source and the promoters, let them sort it out. You don't ask me to bring my children to go and die for your war. That is the real reason why the Southerners or the Igbos are not keen.
All right, Barrister.
Especially in this period where there is terrorism is very high.
In the northern part.
And as a matter of fact, they won't even allow them to do the job. When you are attacking them, you are attacking these terrorists and killing them, you become a target, you become an enemy. We have seen it happen. That fighter pilot from Yorubaland, that lady, what happened to her? What happened to her that she was just killed like that? Because they say she was killing Boko Haram, in numbers in the war front. A lady fighter pilot. So that will tell you what is going on. They will not tell you, but already people are aware. We know. Everybody knows. Even the people that are already there. I remember when some soldiers from the southwest resigned in large number under Buhari. They left the military in large number because of what they were, doing there. So it will be difficult to not just the Igbos. I'm sure the southwest too. They are not very keen in joining the military.
All right, Barrister, quickly, let's just dwell a little bit on insecurity before we move to what the president and the U.S. court is saying about our president. A retired Rear Admiral Distrust, retired, has criticized a former military governor of Plateau State, of course, has criticized the federal government on the way they are handling the insecurity in the North Central region, that is the Plateau State and Benue State. A whole lot of number of people have died over the weeks in that region. And he's saying that the federal government is handling the case with kid's glove, that they have to tighten their seatbelts and do something more than they are doing now. What do you think the federal government could do more in the North Central region, especially Plateau and Benue State?
I don't think they will do more than they have done already, because they are complicit in this matter.
The federal government?
Yes. Benue was the first state that created the vigilante outfits, during the time of Buhari. They were the first. It was legislated. The state assembly gave them a backing by establishing them under the law of Benue State. But what happened? The first IG of police under Buhari, Idris, he came and disbanded them and collected all their guns
and it was working for the state then. They were able to curb the
because of the achievement they made. The people involved, they did not like it. They went to go and disarm them, and immediately these terrorists who claim to be farmers or headers now came and started dealing with the Benue people. So it will be difficult, because the federal government have refused over the years to give these people, they talk to them in the language they will understand according to Buhari. So religious and ethnic sentiment is playing out here. As long as they are Fulani terrorists, they are free to carry gun and kill anybody, and nothing will happen. We have seen it over and over again. How come they will go to a particular area and kill everybody in that village? And as I'm talking to you now, they are occupying villages in Plateau and Benue. Occupying villages after killing all the villagers, and some of them ran away. They now took over their own household. And the federal government is aware, yet they are not doing anything. Not even to go and ask them, what are you doing here? So when you see all this thing, what other evidence are you looking for that the federal government is complicit in what is going on? Both under Buhari and under Tinubu, they are all complicit. Meanwhile, they swore to protect life and property. To make matters well, these are foreign terrorists in Nigeria. Foreign. They are not from Nigeria. They came from outside here to kill Nigerians and take over their homes. And you are telling me that people should join the army, have you?
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.